Hello, friends. Welcome to Wednesday Craft and Chat. This is our kickoff version of this event, which you know is not going to go as smoothly as I probably hope it will, but I'm going to be okay with that. I am just checking to make sure I am in the right place. So if any of you are here with me, let me know that you can see me. I'm also pulling it up on my computer so I can see if there we go. We just, looks like we need to turn us around. Let's see if that helps at all so that you guys are seeing it correctly. Let me check that out. Again, first time doing this. It's so funny because you guys know, like, I am online all the time. I do so many lives for my other businesses, and this is my first time doing it here. So I honestly was a little nervous. I'm not going to lie. I was a little nervous coming on, but I figured we're going to do it. Whether it's perfect is not important at all. So I'm going to share this project with you today. We're going to just kind of have a little chat. I have my computer up so I can also see if you are commenting. So if you want to say hello to me, I would always appreciate that. Today is the day where we are going to work out all of the kinks and figure out how to do these things. So bear with me on this. First off, I'm going to tell you that I am going to do a giveaway for everyone who watches. All that you need to do to enter is just say hello. Let me know that you are here. You will be entered to win a little goodie box. But then I'm also going to do something where I will give you the link to my newsletter, and that is where I'm going to do a big giveaway at the beginning of next week. So I'll send you the link. All you have to do to get the link to my newsletter, my client newsletter, is put in the comments newsletter, and I will make sure that you get the proper link to get signed up on that. And we're going to be doing a really fun big giveaway on Monday. So make sure you're in for that as well. So I am back paper crafting again. So I've been with Stampin' Up for over 25 years. And for the last couple of years, it's been a little bit on the back burner. I've just been crafting for myself. But in early fall, my dad passed away. He had a 6-month battle with cancer and he passed away. And I started scrapbooking. I was like, oh my gosh, I have all these lovely photos of him with the kids and with myself, with my mom. And I thought, I want to get those in a place that I can really access them easily as opposed to digging through boxes, which is what happens to photos, right? And so I started scrapbooking and I just got that bug, that paper crafting. It feels so good to make something with your hands. So I was like, all right, I'm going to do this. And I honestly reached out to my friend Julie Salva, who is one of my Stampin' besties forever and ever, and she is helping me get things up and running. So stay tuned for even more things. But what I want to do today is I'm going to share this really beautiful card with you. I am a really big fan of simple stamping, things that you will always see in my cards. White space, I love white space. I love the texture of an embossing folder. I'm obsessed with paper. I love our designer series paper, but I am going to cut it and use it. I'm not one of those people who's going to hoard it all. So those are some of my very, very, very favorite things. And so I thought I would show you this really simple card. And what I'm using to make this is the Loveliest tree stamp set and dies, which is so funny. Those of you who have been around for a long time, do you guys remember Lovely as a Tree? Like, that was the stamp set. Like, every time I did a party or a workshop or an event, Lovely as a Tree was always in it. And I love that they brought this back with just a little bit different take on it, a little bit fresher than than what we had back in the day. So I'm going to be using this Loveliest Tree stamp set and the coordinating dies. So, like I said, this is probably not going to go as smooth as I had hoped, but you guys are going to be with me in it. So, first thing we're going to do is I have my pecan, tomato, right? So this is an 8.5, just an easy card fold. So for me, I am old school. You guys, what are they doing? Like, it just feels so foreign to me. So I'm going to score those cards, but I'm pretty old school. So just the bone folder there, I've got the base of my card. And this piece of Whisper White. And so if we measure that, that is 5 1/4 by 4. So that is going to be the front of our cards. I'm going to make this really fun background. That's the part that I want to show you. And so what I'm going to use here is some designer series paper. And this is, I wrote it down because I also know the name to nothing. That hasn't changed at all. Country Woods Designer Series paper. It just has these beautiful rough textures. And the thing that I love about paper, well, I love and I hate, is that I really, really typically love both sides of the paper. And so when you love both sides of the paper, you're always like, which one am I going to use? So what I love about this card is that I get to use both. And so I'm just going to take my cutter here. And so I'm going to take this first piece. And the thing that I want to show you with this first piece is that, do you see how this has like panels? If I cut it this way, it's going to look not quite as interesting as if I cut it this way. And so I'm just going to open it up and I'm going to go about a 1/2 inch. Actually, I'm going to go 3/4 of an inch. I think that's going to just be a little bit better. Honestly, with this, you cannot go wrong. You can't go wrong because it doesn't matter how wide you have it. You could even have them different widths and it's going to work great. But I'm going to take 3 of those papers and I'm just going to cut it at that 3/4 of an inch, and I'm just making some strips that I'm going to use to create that background. So I'm going to stick that other one in there again, 3/4 of an inch. I did make one the other day and I had like some were an inch and some were 3/4 and some were a 1/2, mostly because I don't pay attention very well. But that seems to not make any difference in how cute this turns out. So you've just got these strips of designer series paper, both sides. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take that piece of Whisper White. You know what's funny? I thought I was going to be able to come on and do a lot more chatting, but I'm very focused in this stamping, which is so funny. I thought I was going to be able to chat about all the things, but I guess not. I guess I'm very focused in making this project correctly. So, designer series paper. Now, I'm old school. I am hearing all of this stuff about green glue. There's this big divide on what glue everyone uses. Like I said, I'm old school. I just never really thought about it. So I like this snail, but I know a lot of things that I am going to try, being a little bit different, getting out of my like tried and true. The thing that I will tell you that is so fascinating to me is how much technology Stampin' Up! Demonstrators need to have now that things are all online. Like I was shocked. All of the things that they know how to do really, really inspired me. So next week when I come, I am promising you that you are going to see my face and my project. Although it sounds really nice not to have to show your face sometimes. I totally get that. But stay tuned for that. So I just trimmed that, continue on and add a little bit more. You can see I didn't use that one, so I'm going to come on the back side of this one and add that one in. What I love about this card is that you can literally use any designer series paper that you have. There's no right way, there's no wrong way. You can use all of your favorite papers. You can also use just about any stamp set. And so I will show you the one that I made using a different stamp set. And so I'm just going to so I just layered those up and then I'm just going to go back and I'm going to trim those again. Hey, Terry. Oh, and Julie Salva. Julie, I gave you a big shout out when I first started. I just want to clarify that I gave you all the credit for getting me back into this little fun adventure and that you are now my mentor in doing all these fun things. So I'm super excited about that. So you can see, great way if you've got some scraps, little pieces of DSP, but really, really easy. So I'm going to show you the fun part now of creating a little bit of texture on this as well. So this involves using an embossing powder. Now you can use, thanks, Jewel. You can use any emboss, or this is going to use the embossing folder. Again, you guys, I know the names of nothing, so that has not changed from when I first started this. You can use any embossing folder you want. Thanks, Robin. It is good to be back. It's so funny that even when you slow down, like all of these people who have been so near and dear to your heart, well, they're right there. And so you come back and it's just really, really fun. So a couple of things, you guys, this is how long I've been a little bit slow on all of this embossing folder stuff. Like when we started, we did not have this beautiful little contraption, but I also love, it gives you the numbers and it tells you exactly what to use. Like, hello, how awesome is that? So this one with that, I'm going to be doing an embossing folder. So I need my number 1 and then I need my number 4. And so I just put that card front right in that embossing folder. I'm going to put this through. Let's see how I do this. First time on camera using this. I'm just always curious, like what exactly is going to go really, really wrong today. So you can take bets on that if you want, right? All right. Pull that out. This is like magic to me. This is the stuff that gets me like giddy. But do you see how cute that is? Right? It's just paper scraps, but when you put it through with that embossing folder, oh my gosh, Cherry, remember the light box for basic embossing? Girl, I do. Oh my gosh, I had completely forgotten about that. That is wild. But isn't this like so cute? Obsessed with that. So really, really darling. And so what we're going to do is we're going to use that Loveliest tree, that stamp from that stamp set. And I'm going to do that in pecan pie. So Julie, you're here. You're my southerner. Pecan or pecan? 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 No, no. I got to stay with my Wisconsin accent. There's just certain things I got to stay with. So scrap of Whisper White, and I'm just going to go into that pecan stamp pad. Now, this is really interesting. This is one of the red rubber. Red rubber was the only thing we had when I started. And I will say, like, super spoiled by those clear stamps, right? They are so easy to use. So really easy, such a beautiful image. The thing that I loved about Stampin' Up! When I first started, I was a big scrapbooker. So the first thing that I loved was that everything coordinated, right? That was a really big deal, that everything coordinated so beautifully. All right, let me find my tree here. So I loved that I just had all real red was real red everywhere. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, how am I going to find a ribbon to match my red, to match my this? So that was the first thing that really caught my eye. But I love the beauty of the stamped images. That is something I've always loved about Stampin' Up! Like the beauty of the stamped image really carries itself, right? And so I'm just going to take a little bit of washi tape to hold that in place. Also, like, you guys, things I'm learning from watching y'all, those of you who are active demonstrators, watching you guys as you do things. I am just, like I said, I'm so inspired by all of you and how great you are at what you do. It's kind of crazy how far we've come, right? So again, back to this little fella here. So I am doing a small, thin die, so it tells me exactly what I need. I need 1, I need 2. I'm going to put that guy in there. And then, oh, no, hold on. Yep, here we go. All right, and I'm going to cut that out. Now, for those of you who joined a little bit late, you know that since I'm just getting back into this, there are going to be some goodies. So if you say hello, if you say hi, if you say anything, you'll be entered to win some goodies. But my newsletter is going out starting next week, and so I'm going to be doing a big giveaway in that newsletter. So if you haven't joined that, all you have to do is write the word newsletter, and I will get you the link to that. All right. Oh, my tree stuck right on there. All right. There we go. Beautiful, right? Absolutely perfect. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to take that other little scrap that I have, and I am going to punch out a circle from that. So before I do that, I'm going to take the greeting from that Loveliest tree stamp set, and I'm just going to use this thank you one. Now, I know that we have always been card makers. My question for you is, what kind of card sender are you? What kind of card sender are you? I think that sometimes we can be like the, what is it? The cobbler's children who have no shoes. So it's really fun to make beautiful cards, but it's also really fun to send beautiful cards. And so I would just encourage you that when you're making these, don't just make them and stick them in your goodies and then never do anything with them. Really brighten someone's life. I know that I have a lot of women on my team who are part of a card ministry, and I think that is so awesome. Like getting together purposely to make cards for really great causes. I think that's just that just warms my heart. I think that is just so sweet. So I've got my circle. I just stamped that little greeting, punched it out with my circle, and then I'm just going to take my tree as well. Oh, Susan said that sending cards is her New Year's resolution. I love that, Susan. Yeah, I feel like we have to kind of give ourselves that little kick in the pants to actually do something with all of these beautiful cards that we make. So really simple. I'm just going to stick that tree right on there. Easy, easy peasy. So now we're just going to assemble. So I've got my pecan pie. I don't know if that's the way you say it. All right, no one judge me. And I'm going to use, I think this is the Stampin' Seal. Like I said, you guys know, I don't know the names of anything, but I do like that. And then I'm just going to put that right on there. The other thing that I do really love is I am a huge fan of dimensions. I think by adding dimension to a card, you increase the visual interest twofold. So you will always see lots and lots of dimensions on my card. I think part of it is because my stamping is pretty simple. I feel like that dimension really makes a huge difference in creating something that looks really beautiful. And so the only key here is to make sure that that greeting is straight. So you can see that right there. Is that greeting straight? Well, it's pretty straight, right? It's straight enough. I always laugh that when my cards didn't turn out well years ago, that I would send them to my grandma because she couldn't see very well and she wouldn't care. So I feel like I need to develop, now I'm the grandma. Now I am the grandma. How crazy is that? Oh my, how times change. So I'm just taking a little bit of linen thread, making a little bow there, and I'm going to grab a little glue dot. Those haven't changed. Like I'm thinking like all the things that are so different from when I first started, but that hasn't really changed much. So I'm just going to take that and put it right there. And that, my friends, is my card for the day. How fun is that, right? I survived. I did not cut myself. I hopefully not embarrass myself too much. One never knows until it's all, I watch it back and I think, oh my gosh, Lisa, why did you say that? So again, what we are doing here, card making for the slightly creative. You will never see an original, fussy, involved project from me. I can copy like there's no tomorrow, right? But when you are here, we are going to make things that are fun and easy and don't take a whole lot of creativity to finish them out. So you guys, thank you so much for being here. It just warms my heart. Oh, thank you, Robin. Thank you. So every Wednesday, 10 a.m., we're going to be here together making a card. And the other place that you can follow me that I actually have a lot of fun and really is kind of my sweet spot is Instagram. So if you are on Instagram, you can find me at Hand Stamped with Lisa, doing reels, doing all sorts of fun things. So feel free to join along. And like I said, if you're interested in getting on that newsletter list, just type the word newsletter and I will make sure and get that to you. Thanks, guys. Make it a great day.